Hi everyone. In this video we will be talking about variables in general. I'll show you some Python example as well, but I think it's important to have a concept of variables and how we're referencing them in memory. Now before I start, I just wanted to make something clear. Let's say you have a variable named A and it stores a list 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I just wanted to be clear that what variable is not. Now, A does not hold this list. So variable is not a container. It does not contain this list. It's very important to have that clear. So what it is it's a reference to that list. If you think about it, it's almost like how we have a name. When I call my friend John and I call him John, John is just a name. John doesn't hold this person John physically inside. It just references a person that is next to me. It's just a reference to him. So you need to be very clear on that, because my first understanding of variable was like how I explained here, the containers, and that creates a lot of confusion if once you start writing code with that misconception. I'm not sure if a lot of you have that, but I had that. I just wanted to point that out. So now let's say you create a variable A and you've got a list. Now what happens is this list is created in this memory. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 for example. Now all A is doing for you is it's referencing this location in memory, right? So it's a reference to that memory location. So you don't need to remember x001. You can just remember A. How easy is that? Right. So let's say you create a variable B and you assigned the first variable you created A to B. So what do you think computer actually does, or your program or Python actually does? So what it does is it does not create another list called 1, 2, 3, 4 in this section, because it will be a waste of space, right? So when you assigning A to B, it assigns the same list. So what B is the same list as A. So they're exactly identical. And now if you want to create a B with the exact same list, then you need to do B equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 again. That's the way that your program will write 1, 2, 3, 4 in the next memory location, and you will have a completely independent variable. Now when I say independent variable is let's change this variable name to C so we don't get confused. Okay, so we created an independent variable called C with the exact same values as the list A, right? Now when I said independent variable is, now this variable B here is dependent because you've assigned the same location in the memory 0, 1 to B. So what happens is if someone goes and changes A to 1, 2, 3, in fact let's just change that here. Let's say someone goes and removes this value 4 from that list. Now you have variable A and B which has 1, 2, 3. Because they're pointing to the same location in the memory, the changes in one of the variable affects both. So therefore variable does not hold its value, it references to its value, right? So let's go and prove that theory. Let's create a variable a, which is a list, and I'm just going to create a few items here. Now I'm going to create a variable b and assign a to b. So what's in a? Our initial list. What's in b? Exact same list. Now let's change something in a, or add a new item in a. So what's in a now? We should have nest, vest, test, and then zest as well, because we've just added jest. We have that, great. Now what do you think is in b? From what I explained here, now a and b are pointing to this first address, right? The second address was c variable here, which we have not created yet, which is an independent one. So now I'm going to go and check what's in b. We have jest in b as well. And it's not that Python went and added jest in b. In fact, we're just both are referencing to the same location in the memory. Now how do we check that? Let's go and check ID of a. That's the location, and it's not really a location, sorry, it's a ID, it's a unique value or ID to that object. And ID b, they're exactly the same location in memory, or the same ID, and therefore they're equal, and we are accessing same list. So now let's go and create variable list c with exact same item. Now if we get an ID of c, it is different. So if you want to create an independent list, you should never assign a list like that. You should always create a new list, or you can use something called copy and deep copy, which we'll talk about in brief later. But I hope this video helped to understand what variables are and how we reference memory location by using variable. Thanks for watching.